Howdy everybody, it's Dan, your friendly fishmonger at dansfish.com, where we're on a mission to humanely source, maintain, and transport aquarium fish to our customers. We've got a lot to do today. I have a massive filter to change. I've got to get ready to do a photo shoot of all the new fish, so I'm going to go around and do some tank maintenance. That'll give you a little sneak peek of what's coming up a little later, and a bunch of other stuff. So let's get to it. Well, when I came in today, what I wanted to do was release this video here that I've been getting ready. But then I noticed, looking at the system, that this pump here is running at 85%, which is pretty darn high. That means that the filter that pump has to run the water through is getting clogged. That's why the first thing today is changing that filter. Okay, Okay, so I've shut off the system. It's going to take a little bit to drain down. While it's draining, I'm going to go ahead and get this YouTube video titled and described and live for you guys. The Stiphodon atropurpureus were looking really good, so they'll be our feature fish. They look awesome in this video. Get to see like all their flavors of color. So we're just gonna go ahead, make this public. Cross our fingers I didn't screw anything up, and there we go. Look at Johnny there. He's like in Home Improvement, the guy behind the fence who you just you never see. Just his head peeking out. There you go. Wilson.
Same as the volleyball.
This is our big underground cistern here, and yeah, the water level is below that high water sensor there, so that's good. That means the system's drained enough that it's not gonna flood when we turn the pump off. So I can come here. This is the big filter. So this pump that was pushing hard pumps water into this filter, and when that filter gets clogged enough, it makes it difficult for that pump to pump water through it. So the main purpose of this filter is to catch anything coming out of our aquariums. So if the fish spawn, or there's baby shrimp, or fish eggs, or anything like that, we don't want that getting out into our creek, our local waterway. So we have to change this filter every day, maybe every 2 days, depending on how much we feed the fish, really, how much waste they produce. After a day or two, we get enough back pressure, we have to take these out. So we take these out, and then we launder them in a washing machine. We can get a couple uses out of them. Eventually, we do have to replace them. Something neat about these is these filters and this equipment is purchased from a Native American tribe. This is one of the main industries for that tribe. You know, we feel like we're doing a little good sustaining a Native American tribe by using this company. And their costs are in line with other companies, so it's a good deal all around. Anyway, once I get these dirty filters out, I'll put these new filters in, these filter socks, and seal this all up. And hopefully, if I did it right, when I start this up, I won't get any leaks. There have been times when I've started this up and I forgot to close that top vent valve there. And there's been other times when I've started this up and I forgot to replace the O-ring if I took the O-ring out to wash it. So when I'm doing maintenance, it's always an adventure for sure. Anyway, we're clean now. Let's get this going and get the system back up and running. All right, so I've done quite a few of the things I need to do. Next, I'm going to check the health on some fish we imported recently. But before I show you that, I need to go check in with the crew just to see how things are going, make sure everything's all good. So I'm going to go do that. All right, warning, you're all on camera.
Hi.
Dana's got a cool thing here that we're working on. We're making the sealing quicker. So we're in the process of building a little contraption here. We'll show it to you later when it's all done, but Dana's the mastermind of that. While the fish are in quarantine, we don't really scrub the algae or get our hands in the tanks or anything, because if they have a disease, we don't want to spread it around. So we're gonna look at some tanks that have some algae on them. But we're just doing a quick spot check for health to make sure everyone's looking okay. Let's start with this one. This is one of my favorites. I have been looking forward to getting these for a long time. I know it just looks like a little 1-inch silver dart, but what this is Lamprichthys tanganicanus. So the Tanganyikan killifish. These are gonna get 4 inches or more. They're gonna get robin's egg blue with gold and just be a large, impressive, really beautiful, active, fast lamp eye killifish. I am thrilled to have these in. Lamprichthys tanganicanus. And it looks like we haven't had any losses, so the batch is doing well. Look at this guy. This is a super black betta, king of the tank. He's usually very peaceful, but right then I caught him chasing some cories around. He's a pretty fish. Don't worry, these things in the bottom, those are not dead cories. They're all fungus. That's what it looks like. These are plant bulbs. So these are Barclaya longifolia red bulbs. Well, I'm going to have to keep an eye on this guy. If he keeps chasing the cories around like that, we might have to separate this guy. And he's right by my desk, so I can keep an eye on him all day. So that's not good, though. If that continues, we're definitely going to have to move those. Here are some cauliflower red tuxedo swordtails. We have males and females, which is awesome. Looks like they're doing fairly well. Looks like we lost one when they first came in. The rest of these are doing fantastic, which is great. Here's the females to those. We haven't lost any of these, so these are doing really, really well. And these have a normal gonopodium on the males, so these can be bred, which is awesome. Got some red lizard catfish. No losses on those, which is very encouraging. They look like they're doing well. Next up is a batch of albino threadfin acara, and they look like they're doing great. No losses on these guys either. They have good body weight, so I think these ones are in good shape. We always prophylactically treat this fish with flubendazole. We've just found if we do that, we have better success. Rainbow shiners. I don't know if you can see this. Again, I'm going to scrub this glass and do a proper video of the new fish soon. Those males are starting to flare up. They're starting to get that bright blue that you associate with a really pretty rainbow fish. Look at these guys. Yeah, this is the best looking batch, I think, of rainbow shiners we've ever had. And it's probably just because they're old enough to already have started coloring up. That's probably why. Well, they just swam away when I came over, but these are empire gudgeons. There's a few of them peeking out. Most of them went under the wood as soon as the camera came by. I'll probably have to take a peek at them without the camera to really see their health. Yeah, I think these are in good shape. I don't see any problems. This is Anubias barderi, the dark angel. Super rare plant. I don't know much about plants. I just know it was expensive because it's rare. That's all I know. Here's another one. I'm looking for purple stickies. So these are more albino threadfin acaras. It looks like one came in DOA. So one got damaged in shipping, but there haven't been any issues since. So that's good. That means the batch is hardy. Here's the platinum rummy nose tetra. Looks like we lost one on the first, but that's it. This batch looks good. I don't see any issues. Nice strong group, good body weight. This is why we're so picky with our suppliers. There are definitely suppliers out there which sell fish that people want, like the highway catfish, or sell fish a lot cheaper. And if we bought from them, we could probably sell fish cheaper, but the problem is those losses you're seeing on those sticky notes would be much higher. They treat the fish as a commodity, not as an animal that deserves respect. So we know we're not the cheapest. Our suppliers aren't the cheapest either. We try to support the suppliers that do the best job. Whoops, that's my alarm going off. That means I need to check the system and make sure that that cistern is at a good level and the temperature's good and everything, since we just started it up fairly recently. So I'm going to go do that, and then we'll come back and look at more fish. Okay, let's check the system. Looks like we're heating very, very slightly, so that's good. We don't want these boilers working too hard. Our UV sterilizers are doing fine. This one's firing at just over 100%. These UV filters, as time goes by, you get things that build up on the bulbs. And about a week ago, we did an acid wash, and we washed out the tubes with acid to dissolve anything that had built up on the bulbs. And that brought us up to about 100% capacity. That means that the sensor that's in there says that that bulb, none of the light is being blocked. It's working at 100% capacity. Over time, that'll drop, and once it gets down to about, 75 or 80 or so, you want to do an acid wash and clean your bulb. We're at about, 90 gallons and change per minute right now. Because we're just starting up, we haven't opened the system completely. We're circulating at a low rate to get the water all warm and make sure that we don't shock the system. So let's see how we're doing over here. We're up at the high water mark, which means I can open the system a little more. Every time I open the system, the water in here drains a bit because more water goes to the aquariums. And I have to wait until it fills back up before I drain more. So I have to do that 3 or 4 times until we're at full capacity. It looks like I'm ready to open it up again, so I'll go do that. So up we go to this valve here. Down we go. The thrilling life of a fishmonger. All right, best bald head shot ever, I bet. So now I'm gonna set my timer again for another 10 minutes, and then I'll go check the system again. This should be the last time I have to do that. I think we're up and running now. Okay, let's look at more new fish. We have just a few Hamira Hamptodon Tangas, the Tanga half-beaks. One of the prettiest little half-beaks out there. I really love this fish. They look like they're doing well. Here are some of the round-tail paradise fish. Sometimes they call them the Chinese paradise fish. On our website, they're the round-tail paradise fish. They look good. I'm seeing good body weight. I'm not seeing any bacteria on the body. The fins are nice and spread out. They're not clamped. The eyes are clear. They're acting normal. That's good. These are mosquito rasboras or chili rasboras. They look like they're doing pretty good. They're not the biggest ones I've ever got in, but they're not emaciated. So a little more food and I think they're gonna be ready to go. We go drop a pellet in right now so they can be eating throughout the whole day. This is Hikari Massivore Delight. And I like these pellets because the fish can chew on them like all day long. That's a lot of compressed food. And then this afternoon or evening I'll come by and give them baby brine shrimp, and you know, you do that for a couple weeks and the fish get fat and sassy. We brought in some albino hoplo catfish. I like hoplo cats a lot. They're full of personality. They're underrated for sure. We brought a batch in. People didn't really buy them very quickly, even though they were amazing. So we're trying the albinos. Maybe people will buy those quicker. This is a species I'd like to keep in stock, but I can't if it just never sells. Okay, Pseudomugil Ivan Sophi. Nice group of those, and they look like they're in good shape. Again, we haven't scrubbed the algae because they're in quarantine. These are some of the high fin red cauliflower swordtails or broccoli or rose or whatever you call them. There's a million different names. We got some males in as well with these, which we're really excited about. These look like they're doing just fine. Now this is one that we did have some losses on, which is a crying shame because this is a rare fish I've been trying to get in for a while. This is Corydorus pontanensis. They came in and a good portion of them were DOA, but since then they've been fine. They're gonna need a while before we can sell them just because of that initial loss. We want to make sure that they're all right, but I think they will be. Okay, we have some albino Manicapuru angelfish. These are doing fairly well. Looks like we had one loss there, but look, they want food. They're doing what angelfish should do. Begging for food. And then we got some Dantum angelfish here. I love these because the nice, long, straight ventral fins. I just think that they're such a neat fish. They do not like the camera. I leave them alone, but they're in good shape. Here's some dwarf anchor cats hanging out here under the Anubias barderi butterfly. There's gonna be a whole bunch more under that plate and in those pipes and stuff, but looks like those ones are doing well. All right, my timer's going off again, so let's head over and check the system. So that's a little better. That's about 120 gallons per minute running through the system. Level's good. We're at the top sensor, so the system's recovered from that drain that would have happened when I opened that valve. And I'm guessing that this is going to be chugging along at about 2,600 RPMs. 2540. That's good. That's what we want. We don't want this thing working too hard. That's why I have to change that filter when it starts having to work hard. Okay, so it looks like we're at about 79 degrees. 79.2 degrees is the temperature of the water going into the aquariums. 6 PSI is what we want. We're working, that cistern pump's working at 60%, which is perfect. The well pump is working at 52%, which is perfect. And the boiler loop pump is only at 33%, which is great. No one's straining. Everyone's in good shape, so that's good. Let's just check here real quick. Let's see how many views we've got since we released this video here. Looks like 467 views, and it was released an hour ago. That's not too shabby. So while I'm on health checks and stuff, I need to check the death reports for yesterday. Every day we go through and we look at the fish and we see if anyone needs help. Is anyone sick or is anyone dead? And we keep track of all that. And we have a database of all that so we can keep track of patterns. So looks like yesterday we did pretty well. 1, 2, 3 species there, only one each. So it's probably an anomaly. Usually if there's just one fish, like it's just an anomaly unless it happens repeatedly. Heat pack time, all right. Oh, you're walking backwards. Don't trip, you're on camera.
The camera blocks.
Oh, it's time for my exam. Funny story is Johnny went and got a bunch of these so we could have some, but he got the smalls, mediums, which is great for him and for Mandy. But Johnny, last time he was at Costco, got some larges for me, so thank you, Johnny. Now I can wear gloves too. Alright, just got back from lunch. I've got to go feed the fish now, so we'll take you along for some of that. But first, let's see how the video's doing. 1,000 views. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Want to go feed some fish with me? I said that awkwardly. That was not smooth at all. Want to go feed some fish with me? That's smoother. Let's go do that. Okay, here's the horde. Those little chili reservoirs on their pellets. They eat these really well. We can just snack on them all day long and get fat and sassy. It's exactly what we want. Alright, let's go see how the CPDs are doing with theirs. Well, it looks like they found the food. Go CPDs! Alright, so here is my bucket of goodies. That's what I use for feeding every day. I will go and feed this dry food first, and then when I'm done that, I'll go back and feed the baby brine shrimp and frozen bloodworms and frozen brine shrimp and all that stuff. Extreme krill flakes, Zoomed spirulina, what is it? Spirulina 20 or something like that. They should call it 420. Then we have extreme catfish scratchers, bottom scratchers, extreme nano pellets, Hikari Massivore Delight pellets. This is Hikari Vibrobites. This is Hikari Carnivore pellets. Then in here are some freeze-dried copepods. These are great for fish that eat from the top, like little hatchet fish and half-beaks, stuff like that. If I see anything wrong in a tank, first thing I do is test. I have a little blank sticky here because we use stickies to note a lot of things on our aquariums. So if I notice anything on the tank that needs to be called out, I will use the sticky. This is my notepad. This has today's date, my name, DOL. This is where we mark down fish that have died. We call that died later. Instead of DOA, we call that died on later. There's some spirulina flake up there just to give them a quick meal. And then I'll also drop in a bunch of those bottom scratchers, which they can chew on for the next couple of hours. So redhead tapajos. Get them some veggies as well. These are the Elioti fire mouse, Verthes Elioti, which is the same as Macolopinus, I believe. We have two batches. One was sold as Elioti, one was sold as Macolopinus, and we're keeping them separate, even though one of those scientific names is no longer correct, just in case they were from different populations or something. I think they're all Macolopinus, though, technically. This is Melanotania fascinensis. Well, I see my first problem. Do you see that rainbow there that's in the algae strands? That one doesn't look good. He's got a problem. So that's the first note I'll make. Okay. Then when I'm done feeding, I'll come back and look at that fish a lot more closely. See if we need to do something with it. Help it out. Melanotania trifasciata Blythe Creek. They're spraying me with water. I can feel it on my face. You see all these other tanks? I've got a lot more to feed. It's going to take a while, so I think I'll just do this and get back to you when I'm done. I just finished feeding. I've got my food bucket put back away. I'm going to check, see how the video's doing, just because that seems to be a theme I'm doing with you today. 1,700 views in 7 hours. That's decent. Now what I've got to do is all the new stock that's going to become available later this week, I need to start scrubbing tanks. I don't think I'll show you that. I'm literally going to go around and scrub glass. If you want to learn more about aquarium fish, we do a live stream every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at the Dance Fish YouTube channel. If you have questions about aquariums and aquarium fish keeping, you can chat live with us and we'll answer your questions. And just have a fish geek out session. And if you're in the market for fish, we've got you covered here at the dancefish.com store online. So check it out. You might find something you like. We'll be back next time. Until then, have a good one. Bye-bye.